Hello everybody, my name is Bragster and welcome back to TEW 2020, where we are in charge of Impact Wrestling. Now, we come off the back of last week's episode and we've got some mail, don't know what it is, but we got some, it's just the Explosion viewing figures, brilliant. So, if anything happens between now and Impact, I'll show you, if not, we'll get straight into the show. Right, so we got a backstage incident before the show, which is Rob Van Dam and Cousin Jake, where Rob Van Dam has been passing tips on psychology to Cousin Jake. Brilliant. So Cousin Jake is just getting better and better and better with every show due to Rob Van Dam. So yeah, that just again makes me happy. So lovely to see. Right, I'll book the show and I'll show you what happens. Right, so I've booked the show. Everything's looks good. I'm happy with the show for once. The tag team title match will be on Explosion, just simply because I just know it's not going to be that good, whereas this match I actually think has a chance of being good. So let's get into it, let's see what happens. So we start off the night with a 57 rated match. I knew it would be good. I knew it would be good. This is why this is on the actual show and the tag team title match is on Explosion. Remember, this is to decide who decides the stipulation for Moose versus Bully Ray next week. Bully Ray and Ken Shamrock defeated Moose and Jeff Cobb when Bully Ray actually pinned Moose with the Bully Cutter. So obviously Shamrock and Bully Ray obviously battered Moose and Jeff Cobb, and Bully Ray managed to pick up the win on Moose, so he's got a win against the person he's facing next week. Jeff Cobb looked amazing in the ring with a 57 rated performance himself. Ken Shamrock was the weakest for obvious reasons. This was a wild brawl match. It went down a lot better than I thought. That's brilliant. That is actually brilliant. Got the show off to a great start. Then we've got a 55 rated segment where Jeff Cobb picks up Moose and drops him with the tour of the islands. Right in front of Ken Shamrock, who's just kind of stood there smirking as if to go, you know, Moose has no idea what he's gotten himself into. He picked a dangerous partner to beat them. He's the one that lost the match, and when you pick a dangerous partner and you're the one that loses the match, you're going to get punished, and that's exactly what happened. A nice 55 rated segment. This rivalry between Shamrock and Moose, and just Moose in general, is awesome at the moment. Absolutely awesome. Yeah, what a way to start the show. Then I've got a 50 rated segment where EC3 defeated Doc Gallows in 12 minutes and 24 seconds with the Sweet Meat Sizzler. EC3 with a decent performance of 53. Doc Gallows with an actual decent performance of 46 for once. Yep, just progresses the Bound for Glory series nicely and picks up another win for EC3. He's getting closer to Miro. He just needs Miro to slip up somewhere. Then we've got a 45 rated segment where Tommy Dreamer comes out yet again for another, you know, beration of Jake Christ, and he's interrupted by Jake Christ, who demands a match against Dreamer at the Prelude, and Dreamer accepts. We don't know what this match will entail. The likelihood is it'll entail a lot of weapons, but yeah, 45 rated segment there, lovely stuff. Chris and Dreamer just actually doing something good. I wasn't expecting this rivalry to go down as well as it is, but I can't complain, can I? Then we've got a 41 rated segment where Tennille Dashwood defeated Taya Valkyrie in about 8 minutes with a roaring elbow following interference from Havoc. Of all people, Havoc got involved. Tennille Dashwood with a 40, Taya Valkyrie with a 37. Bear in mind that match wasn't as long as their usual matches would be, you know, kind of teasing the crowd with a great match, but you know, not giving them all of what they could have in the future. But yeah, some great stuff there. 40 rated by to Neil, 37 by Tyre. Brilliant. Then we got a 38 rated segment where Deonna Purrazzo attacks Dashwood after the match and telling Dashwood to hit her. Dashwood came across as this cool, calm, collected. She's not going to lose her cool, and Purrazzo wants her to lose it. Purrazzo's wanting Dashwood to lose it and is kind of hitting her and going, go on, hit me back, and Dashwood just does nothing. She just kind of just sits there and is quite happy on her own. Then we've got a 33 rated segment where Willie Mack tells Scherer he won't let him terrorise the Motor City Machine Guns, and now he has to deal with him. So yeah, this is setting up a feud between Willie Mack and Mahabali Scherer, which is a rivalry I'm intrigued about. Obviously, that was hinted at in the tag match last week with the Motor City Machine Guns and Willie Mack facing the Desi Hit Squad. Scherer and Willie Mack had a few standoffs, but not too many, and that rivalry is going to be continuing forward, and it's probably going to continue after the Motor City Machine Guns Desi Hit Squad stuff, and it will work off the heat of that storyline. Then we've got a 54 rated segment where TJP defeated Sami Callihan in about 8 minutes when Sami Callihan intentionally got counted out, which is a weird thing to do. In the Bound for Glory series, when you're trying to get as many points as possible, Sami Callihan purposefully walked out the match. Surprised that it's a 54 rated. Bear in mind it only went 8 minutes. Usually matches have to go, especially with my product, have to go 10 minutes to get the best rating it can get. And to get 54 in 8 minutes says that these two could do some great stuff in the future. But yeah, Callihan with some very unusual behaviour. Then we've got a 51 rated segment where Eddie Edwards and RVD talk about the past few weeks, about the matches they've been put through, and they hype the contract signing next week. RVD and Eddie Edwards will have a contract signing on next week's Impact before the week after, which is their final meeting together. So yeah, 51 rated segment there. Improving the heat of the storyline in general. So that match, if RVD can perform, that match should be good. Then we got a 47 rated segment where Trey actually defeated Eric Young by pinfall after distraction by Rick Swann. So Rick Swann was kind of in the crowd somewhere and it threw Eric Young off. He didn't know what to do and he just couldn't handle it. He was he started to tick, and Trey took advantage of that, hit him with his finisher, pinned him 1, 2, 3. Trey seemed off his game, but if off his game is a 44 rated, I won't mind that. And Trey and Eric Young actually have pretty good chemistry in the ring. I'm going to have to make a note of who has good chemistry, especially after this Bound for Glory series. You know, there's 10 people in that. There are so many different storylines you can do, especially when we're only doing 4 or 5 pay-per-views a year. We've got some great storylines that can come out of this. Obviously nothing to do with EC3 because EC3 can't seem to have good chemistry with anyone at the moment. No, I'm not going to address that. Then we've got a 43 rated segment where Stephen Amell invites Chris Bay to the ring and says he's not forgotten about that X Division title. As much as Chris Bay wants to think it, he's not forgotten it. He was putting together a battle royal. So at the Prelude to Glory, there will be a battle royal full of people vying for a chance at that X Division title. The winner of that will face Chris Bay at Bound for Glory for that exact title in the build-up for Destination X, which is the pay-per-view after Bound for Glory as well. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. Chris Bay is doing some great stuff at the moment. Even Stephen Amell is doing some great stuff at the moment. So putting them in the segment together, it's really hammering home, you know. This, just because Willie Mack's out the X Division picture doesn't mean it's over. You know, there's more to come from this. Then we've got a 47 rated segment where Kyle Anderson defeated Brian Myers with the Anderson Spinebuster. Anderson with a 49 rated performance, Brian Myers with a 40. Kyle Anderson is putting on some great performances. That puts him right up there for an opportunity to get into that top 5, which would then mean he's in that top 5 battle for them with extra 25 points. Then we've got a 45 rated segment where Heath is tending to Rhino after last week and making sure Rhino's okay. When Jeff Cobb walks up behind him and taps him on the back and goes, "I'll see you at the Prelude." That's right, Jeff Cobb, James Storm, Frank Mir and Heath are in that match. There are 2 more still to be announced, but yeah, oh boy, you do not want Jeff Cobb in there, but he is. I love this. This match could do really well at the Prelude, and I hope it does as well. Then we've got a 38 rated segment where Melissa Santos asks Callahan why he walked out of that match, and he just looks at her and goes, "Look at my situation. Look at where I am in those standings, and look where I need to be for my best chance to get into that top 4. So Sami Callihan seems to have a real good plan as to what he's going to do to get to that top tier to get into that top 4 ready for the Prelude. And then the main event of the evening, Ace Austin versus Miro, is a 64 rated match. Come on, I knew it was going to be good. And the best part about it, Ace Austin defeated Miro in 15 minutes by pinfall with the House of Cards. No shenanigans, straight up. Ace Austin beat Miro. Ace Austin with a 53, Miro with a 67, 64 rated match overall. What a showing. I put Steal the Show on. That must have helped improve things. Yeah, these guys are doing some wonderful stuff at the moment, and I love these two. These two really will have some great matches in the future if they meet. And what's the rating for the show overall? It's a 61 rated show. I'm pretty sure that's our best rated show yet. The start was phenomenal. The end was amazing. The middle was just solid. Wow. 61 rated. Increased popularity in 29 regions. And would have gained popularity in 1 Canadian region and 4 British regions if it wasn't for the limited number of viewers. Mwah! Wonderful stuff there. I'm so happy with that show. I knew this one was going to be good. I knew this one had potential to be my best show, and it was. Thank God for that. We've got some great storylines going on, and it's just going to get better from here. I can just see it. So yeah, after that great show, I will go through the Bound for Glory standings now. So the graphic's going to go up now. There you go. Right, so still topping the table just is Miro with 51 points. EC3 is in second with 49. Hot on Miro's tails, with Miro facing Eric Young next week and EC3 facing Brian Myers. One of those clearly has an easier match out the two, but we don't know what headspace Eric Young is in. Then we've got in third place is Ace Austin, who just got a massive win against Miro. Then you've got Callahan and Carl Anderson below that. Callahan seems to have some sort of plan to not pick up points, which is a weird plan to have. Then we've got TJP, who seems to be picking up points here, there and everywhere at the moment. And he's doing some great stuff. He's hit the form of his life. He must be chuffed to bits that he signed that waiver to say that he could carry on. And then we've got a bunch of people. Then we've got Trey on 21, and then we've got 3 people on 14: Eric Young, Doc Gallows, and Brian Myers. So yeah, this Bound for Glory series is hotting up. Trey could still technically get in there with a submission win. You've got TJP who could still get into that top 5, and then you've got Carl Anderson and Sami Callihan as well. Myers, Gallows, and Young unfortunately cannot make it into that top 5 now. That is confirmed, and unless there's a bunch of DQ wins, but I think even then they can't get in. So yeah, that just shows that this Bound for Glory says that there are Miro, EC3 who are guaranteed in, and then you've got 3 who are guaranteed not in. So yeah, some great stuff going on there. I'm really happy with how the show turned out. Let's get into Explosion. Before that though, we go into our mail, where Jimmy Jacobs actually says that Tennille Dashwood has a lot of charisma, she has a lot of upside, so that's good because she's in obviously the title picture, so it's always nice to see people in the title picture being praised. Right, I thought I'd show you actually, to do with how my show's doing. The rating for Dark was 51, we smashed that out the park. Now bear in mind obviously they have a better platform than we do, better wrestlers that they can pull on it than we do, with like better popularity and stuff, and we battered them. That's brilliant. Dynamite though, obviously they beat us. They had some great matches there to work with, and NXT, it was close with NXT actually. I think if they didn't have Finn Balor picking up that match massively there, then that might have been even closer than we thought. So if we can catch up with NXT over time, that's kind of my aim, because AEW will stay in front of the pack for a while. If you're NXT, you want to push to beat AEW. If you're TNA, you want to push to beat NXT, and that's what we're going to do here on out. And we're pushing closer towards that, and that's a good sign. Obviously, I know it's only 1 week, but if that was, you know, that's one of our best shows, that just shows we can hit that level. And bear in mind, I'm a bit limited in what I can do because of the Bound for Glory series. Obviously, the matches will be great because they are some of our best, but the actual, you know, the leniency of the storylines and where we can put matches is a little less. So once we get going, I think we can hit those 60, that 55-60 mark a lot more often than we are right now, and we'll really push forward towards NXT. But I thought you guys would be interested in seeing that. Right, so I've put the show, let's just see what happens. It should be a good one. So we start off the show with a 39 rated segment where Jordynne Grace defeated Kiera Hogan in 13 minutes by pinfall with the Fall of Grace. Jordynne Grace with a 40, Kiera Hogan with a 30, so good stuff there. Just nice solid wrestling with Madison Rayne on commentary again. But after the match, this time Madison Rayne attacks Jordynne Grace and tells her that you have your match at the Prelude. So yeah, Jordynne Grace, Madison Rayne at Prelude to Glory. Then we've got a 34 rated segment where Willie Mack took out Mahabali Shera backstage and shouts clean fight, referring to the main event, which is the tag title match. So yeah, these two, it's just starting off a little bit of a feud here, and Willie Mack's just not going to let Shera ruin the Motor City Machine Gun's reign. Then we've got a 36 rated segment where Madman Fulton defeated Falabar in a last man standing match in 10 minutes and 14 seconds when Falabar couldn't meet the 10 count. Madman Fulton with a 38, Falabar with a 30, so Falabar did better there than he's ever have done. Madman Fulton's still really good, and Ace Austin did some good stuff at ringside. So yeah, some nice stuff there, storyline progression and everything. And then we've got a 40 rated segment where Rosemary is angry at Havoc for the brutal attack and says good luck finding a partner, and James Mitchell has kind of got this weird smirk on his face and you just don't know what's happening. But yeah, gained heat in both segments. 40 rated, still really good even though Rosemary didn't do well without the script. Then we've got a 31 rated segment where Su Yung is seen following Kylie Ray backstage. So it's a bit weird, but yeah, Kylie Ray's just walking backstage and Su Yung is just pursuing her, and Kylie Ray just doesn't notice. Then we've got a 44 rated segment, which is a lot better than I thought, where the North laugh about Dez's injury and say there will be no match at the Prelude. No match whatsoever, don't even think about it. We haven't obviously had a response from the Rascals, but the North are very arrogant and kind of going, give us the win, give us the win. And then the main event of the evening, which is a lot better than I thought it would be, It's the Motor City Machine Guns defeating the Desi Hit Squad in 18 minutes when Alex Shelley pinned Raj Singh with the underarm snap STO, with the Motor City Machine Guns defending the title for the first time. Raj Singh was the weak link, so yeah, 51 by both of the Motor City Machine Guns, 35 by Rohit Raju, and then Raj Singh with a 25, which is awful. But luckily they're all tag team specialists, which should have boosted up the match a little bit. 45 rated for the tag match isn't bad. I made the right decision as to which one went on Impact, but it's still a lot better than I thought it would be. So that should bring to an end the rivalry between the Desi Hit Squad and the Motor City Machine Guns, and the Motor City Machine Guns can head off for better things. 44 rated explosion there. Really good explosion actually. A lot better than I thought it would be. I was confident with it. There were three good matches and a couple of good storylines going through as well. But I wasn't expecting the main event to be that good. 44 rated. I'm really happy with that. That's two shows that have done a lot better than I thought they would do. We're progressing forwards. We're doing really well. The Bound for Glory series is hotting up. Everything's hotting up, ready for the pay-per-views coming forward, and I can't wait for it to happen. So yeah, hit that like button if you like this video and I'm still enjoying this series. Comment down below anything and subscribe if you're new, and I shall see you in the next video. See ya!